Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sports.
You're like a circle that floats around me.
In here, you all in the comments, let me know what you all think. Poke some holes, right? Losh, size, he's much. Guys, thanks for watching. Losh. All right, time to go. Please tell the people the team that you back to.
Well, I can show you. That one right there.
God. I'm gonna edit that out in post, right?
Welcome to the Fantasy Pavilion. We go live in 10. Number 9.
8. Yo! 7.
Number 6.
5.
Entry. Yes, guys, welcome back to the Fantasy Pavilion, your home for fantasy sport. Back in action, and of course, you have a very interesting game week coming up. It is a blank/double. And to help me guide you guys and to discuss the upcoming game week, I'm joined by one of our great, our loyal subscribers, our Man U fan, and one of the top fantasy players in the Trinidad. As I said, Man U fan, avid Man U fan, and of course, always in the chat. Welcome, Paul, aka Fantasy Lord. Paul, thanks for coming through, bro.
Thanks for having me, Jared. Thanks.
Right, we'll be joined by the others in a bit. So, Paul, as I alluded to in the intro, blank/double, right? Slash free hit. I know some people may have to free hit. Are you in that category, in that bank? You're free hitting? I know you set me a team already, but you, what's your plans so far?
I banked my transfer last week, so I had 2 free transfers for this week. My team is in pretty good shape, so I decided to use I actually did my transfers already. I did 2 free transfers, and I did an extra transfer. So, so far -4. Contemplating one more move, but I should be good with after that move. No free hit. Save any free hit.
Right, see, of course, right. So I'll bring up the team later on when we're looking at plans ahead. So, as I said, saying plans ahead, we can't go forward without looking back. So let's just take a quick review, a quick look back at what went on this past game week. Some interesting results, some interesting assets coming forward and doing the business. So let's take a quick gander really quickly. So, of course, first game of the game week, we had Aston Villa facing off the greatest team in London, Arsenal. It was not by no means an easy game, but 4-2 in favor of Arsenal. Of course, usual suspect. No, I don't know if you would have got a glimpse of the show last week. I was, and the past 2 weeks actually, we have been discussing Watkins a lot, Paul, because he has been coming back. His career has been revived. If you want to go that far. Under Emery, he's scoring. Now, we've been here before, Paul, with Watkins, right?
Yes.
Watkins has broken some hearts before. He started it off well and then just dropped off. But, obviously not for this game week, but if you're looking for a cheap asset, a cheap striker, would you recommend Watkins to anybody?
Yeah, actually, Watkins is a pretty good punt at just 7.2 mil. They have some decent fixtures coming up. And they are guaranteed, as we know, we have 1 or 2 blank game weeks maybe coming up as well, and they're guaranteed to be playing in those weeks. So, he seems like a good shout, and only 7.2 mil, you can't go wrong.
Yeah, definitely can't go wrong there. Of course, scoring one of the other goals, Coutinho, and then a name that we haven't heard in quite a while, assistant, Cash. Cash was another one back in the day, Paul. Remember those days?
Matty Cash.
Right, back in the day, Cash was
another big player.
Yeah, must have Cash as one of the defenders. And of course, Alex Moreno with one of the assists. Right. right along now, Arsenal. So Arsenal, we had Saka, Martinez, and Chenko coming up with the goals. And then, of course, Odegaard, Fabio Vieira, and Jorginho with assists. So, and of course, Martinez with one of the own goals. So that's why Martinez will have a -3. And of course, what Ramsey had 2 points from the 3 saves. So again, the usual suspects back on the score sheet, back on the point strain. Most importantly, Martinelli, because I know a lot of people losing faith in him. Paul, this will do wonders for his confidence, and maybe he might push on and be a decent asset for this coming double game week?
Yeah, I mean, if you haven't sold him as yet, you should be feeling pretty good. The only thing with Martinelli is the minutes.
Yeah.
You know, we have doubts about the minutes with Trossard and how they would rotate him, and especially seeing as it's a double game week. The Arsenal has plenty football. This will be like the second double game week, I think, in the last 2 or 3 weeks.
Correct.
So that's the only thing. But if you're a Martinelli owner, I don't feel too bad. Actually, you feel good about the outcome last week. So yeah.
Right.
I
And
think
of
it's a
course,
good thing.
and it's a no-brainer. We hold on to Saka for sure. Saka is
Yeah,
the man,
of course.
right?
Yeah.
Right. Moving right along. Brighton 0, Fulham 1. So of course Sanchez, no save points. Leno with another double-digit haul. I believe he made 10 last week, 11 this week. Right. Leno again. I think I spoke about some Fulham defenders, but I didn't really put too much on Leno. But Leno again, very solid. 7 saves. 7 saves. Right. Big up Reem. Reem didn't get any bonus points this time around. Normally he always gets some bonus points, but big up Reem. Estupinian got some bonus points, even though he's only losing, and that's still the effort he was putting in. He's another solid player, Paul. Solid defender to have.
For Brighton.
Yeah, especially with Trippier maybe falling off the ball a little bit. You never know. But let's not go there. Let's not put the panic button. But might be good to keep your eye on him. Of course. And of course a new name, Solomon. So Solomon on the score sheet for Fulham and Vinicius with the assist. We're familiar with Vinicius. And yeah, so Fulham doing their thing, trotting along. I was very shocked by this result, Paul. I was expecting more from Brighton, but Fulham really have the formula where they're doing their thing.
Yeah. Fulham is not a side that you could overlook. And we tend to think that a newly promoted side is not going to give a lot of competition, but they've been definitely playing lights out. So I was surprised by the result as well, but not too surprised. I know they would have given Brighton a fight.
Yeah. But it bodes well for having some of their assets, knowing that they could go to a difficult ground like Brighton and win, because their away form is bad. They did well against Chelsea as well, so it's good to. That's always something critical and picking your assets for if their away form is strong as well. Because sometimes we pick teams, big players, if they're playing home, right? Well, they know they safe home, but it's very good to know that their away form is very strong as well. So that's something to know.
And also too that they're well priced. They have some players, good budget players. You could either keep them on your bench or start them. So
of course. Now we had a relegation derby in the next one here. Everton 1, Leeds 0. All right, no save points there for Pickford, but of course clean sheet points. Melie with 3 saves, so 3 points for him. Now, Paul, I have a particular team registered for the league that I'm with you all with. Now you could vouch for this. I've had Tarkowski for a very long time. Right? And I take the Tarkowski trade start now. It's start. That Dutch is there and it's solid Tarkowski. And even got Coleman, the defenders are shining under him. For no surprise. That's no surprise under a coach like Dyche. Right? So again, some other defensive assets that me catch your eye, or maybe you're interested in any defensive assets from Everton at all. I know that's a weird question. We never thought you'd be having this conversation this season. But any defensive assets catching your eye at all, Paul?
Well, Well, you mentioned Seamus Coleman as well. Well, obviously everybody's jumping on the Tarkowski train. I actually I was looking at Mikolenko, as a bit of a punt. He's not highly owned. Only I think 1% of managers own him. But he could be a good shout as well. He's playing left back. He can be a creative force. You never know. He could give you assists as well to go along with the clean sheet. you know. On top of the fact that they have a double game week, you know. So
Correct.
and he's cheap as well, 4.3 mil.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Yeah,
He's,
can't go wrong with
so I'm part of that 1.1% with my main team here, so I don't know. Because the thing is, he has very good passing range, you know. The problem is the end product from the strikers is what killing him. He's put some real good balls up there for those guys. So hopefully he could Dice could get that out of get the strikers to work with him and they could get that chemistry flowing. So of course Coleman with a goal, 15 points from one goal, Paul. One goal. That's clean sheet points, bonus. My goodness. And then of course Iwobi with an assist. Iwobi has been having a very solid season. I wouldn't recommend him as an asset, but he has been in any role he has been put in, because Lampard played him out of position many times and he's been doing anything. Same here with Dyche, and I'm really glad for him to get his and some end product there. So Everton might be a solid team to look at. We look at they have a double coming up, so we'll discuss them. You never know. Might be interesting to dabble in an asset there, interesting punt. Speaking of interesting, Chelsea 0, Southampton 1. Southampton are a team that in the relegation zone fighting to survive and stay up, and they have toppled Chelsea. But that team, that is no big achievement, Paul. No offense to any Chelsea fans, and based on their current form, right? Based on their current form.
Sorry, I can't help but smile.
Yeah, of course. Right? Chelsea 3 saves. I mean, Kepa 3 saves. Sorry. Bazunu 4 saves. He got some bonus points. Clean sheet as well, obviously. So 9 points for him. So not too bad. A very rare high return from a Southampton goalkeeper, and of course, some of the defenders would have got some bonus points. Ward-Prowse with a famous free kick, one of his infamous free kicks, right? Yeah. Free kick specialist. We don't have much of them in the Premier League anymore. And I think he is the main standout guy. We'd have lost Payet and some other classic greats. So Ward-Prowse to me is a mean man right now. And he came up trumps. It was a beauty of a goal. And he was assisted by Armstrong. Of course, we will not waste your time and talk too much on these assets yet. But Southampton might be a decent team based on how they're looking at the end of the season. I like to jump on some teams that are close to relegation. You never know. They'll fight, they'll score. Just coming out to the end. You never know. Because sometimes the big boys might be blanking. So I like to look at those kind of games. Now, we had a London derby. Brentford 1, Crystal Palace 1. Raya, my boy, 3 saves. Guaita, 4 saves. Right, so 3 points each. Interesting result here, Paul. This one, I was shocked by. I wouldn't lie to you.
Yeah.
I was surprised by this one.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting Crystal Palace to come away with the point against Brentford. Brentford has been in really great form, recently. I think they're on an unbeaten run in the Premier League of
yes, correct.
9 games, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting finish to this game.
Now, so I want to highlight somebody, Mbeumo. Have to big up Mbeumo. Now, he didn't score, but he brought another return. As I mentioned, I would have mentioned this in our group. Since the World Cup, he's turned to prime Saka. Don't know what it is. And Mbeumo is running after every ball now. He is competitive. He's in the final third, and his link up with Tony is amazing. Amazing. They have telepathy. I don't know what it is, but it's amazing.
He's a creative force. He really is.
Yes. But all of a sudden, I mean, nothing was terrible before, but since that World Cup, he had a good World Cup. He had a decent World Cup. I don't know if maybe something when he saw the other players on the big stage and he saw what it is to really put all the heart for your team. I don't know what it is, but since returning, and Mbeumo has been amazing. And I have him, and I'm not playing with him. He has to be in my side. And I
remember I actually had him last year for quite some time.
Right.
My side. And was expecting returns, and he was getting the chances and everything, but just wasn't finishing.
He was a postman. He was a postman. It was in post. Yeah. And that was messing up the stats because his XG was decent, but he wasn't scoring. Yeah. Of course, Eze and Olise combining with the goal for Crystal Palace, and of course, Mbeumo assisting Yanez. We won't get too gung-ho here, but Eze and Olise always on the radar, but they're not consistent enough for me at Paul. What do you think?
Yeah. Crystal Palace is not a consistent team. They'll give you the odd moment of glory, but they definitely need better finishing and not having. Well, I don't know what's the situation with Zaha, but that's a big loss for them as well too, not having him around. Another creative presence.
But
But finishing seems to be their problem as well.
finishing is, but I have to say though, as you mentioned, Zaha, they have been doing okay under the circumstances because sometimes a team of their stature losing a big player like that, right? They
They could
capitulate.
capitulate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So that's a very good point because we see it with big teams. We see it with big teams. Us, I'm embarrassed if we lose when we lose party, we look a bit off the boil, and you see it. We have to work a little harder. So when you lose your big players, that could happen. Well, boy,
Yeah.
boy, hey,
I think this was the shock result of the weekend.
bro,
This was very shocking.
of the year. This is the shock
Of the year,
of the year.
Yeah.
This could war with some of the results in the World Cup, like Morocco and stuff. This could be in good contention for shock of the year. My goodness, Nottingham Forest won.
Yeah. I mean, I don't even know what to say. Man City, they seem to be in a bit of a funk because these are the results that they're churning out right now. Um, it's just really, really shocking. And Forest have been actually playing better of late. I actually told one of my partners before the game, I was telling him this is not going to be a walkover from Manchester City. But at the same time, I wasn't expecting them to actually pull a point from this game. So that was very, very surprising.
The only prediction I made, I was saying that Navas would have been, the hero, or would have been the most busiest person, but he would have to real dig deep and keep Nottingham in the game. And so said so then. And he wasn't that busy. He said just 5 saves. He wasn't as busy as we thought he would be. So he had 5 saves, but 4 points. 4 points. He got the bonus points. And of course, Edison, no saves, just 2 points there. Right.
Yeah,
so
and the funny thing is the one shot that Nottingham Forest got on target happened to be the goal. Yeah.
Yep.
And you need a little luck to get these kind of results.
You need it, exactly. And it was what, the 85th minute ball about that?
Yeah. And the dying end of the game. And that's why they say take your chances when you have them. And City did have a lot of chances. Actually, Haaland, I think point blank. You don't expect Haaland to miss. And he missed 2 chances, 2 big chances. Yeah. That was crazy.
Big up Javid in chat. Thanks for coming through, Javid. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Right? We'll talk about that. I hope so, Javid. Next thing is only 4 assists, but we'll talk about that.
We're taking all that, yes?
Yeah, take it that way. So I would have mentioned Grealish, and now in the last show, we tried to predict what Pep would do. And I told you all no Mahrez because Mahrez is captain champion.
Yeah, oh gosh.
So said, so done. Grealish is the man and Bernardo is the man. I have Bernardo one of my teams as well. I'm on the scout team. So Bernardo with a goal, Grealish with the assist. And Gibbs White, one of our main safety assets from Nottingham, we always talk about him, assisting old school, old name, a name we haven't done in a while that normally, he's been blanking recently. And Chris Wood, formerly of Burnley, and now playing for Nottingham with a.
He had a stint with Newcastle as well.
Yes, and a stint, yes, of course, and a stint with Newcastle as well. Yes. His eyes lit up, I don't think he was expecting that. But if you saw the goal, his eyes was.
Yeah. He jumped at the chance, but he took the chance. Most importantly.
Most important.
Have to take your chances.
Yeah, and as an Arsenal fan, thank you, Nottingham Forest. I appreciate you. And of course, Nottingham Forest is the bigger team got the point because Nottingham Forest is a bigger team than City, but we won't go there. They definitely have more fans than City.
Yeah.
Bournemouth won.
No comment.
Bournemouth, no, it's true. Bournemouth won.
But
come on, if the manager of City have to be begging fans to clap and make noise,
they can't even fill the stadium.
They can't even fill. Come on. Bournemouth won, Wolves 0. Now I was surprised by this one because Wolves was on a bit of an ascendancy. They were doing okay. They were eking out some interesting results. But Bournemouth, I have to say, their defense recently has become very rigid, very selfish, and they do anything. And the scoring goals as well. They held on to Newcastle, which no one expected. And now they came here with a vital win that could help them stay up in the league. Of course, Jose Sa, one of my favorite goalkeepers, nothing from him. Neto, busy, 4 saves, got some of the bonus points, so 10 points, a double pointer for Neto. So another another low tier keeper with double points, Paul.
Yeah. And that's the thing, when they concede, obviously, it's not the best, but when they keep a clean sheet, they pull off a lot of saves, and that's the good thing about having these low budget keepers in the squad. Works
Yeah,
out.
this year they are better for us.
Yep. You get the save points, you get the bonus points, and sometimes you just get the odd clean sheet to go along with it.
Now, Tavernier and Solanke, those are guys we would have spoken about, but they've been out of the picture for a while. But Bournemouth now have their full artillery back. Villain is back, right? Tavernier, as I said, Solanke back. And so maybe now they could go on a decent run. And you never know if you're looking for somebody cheap. As you said, some blanks coming up. You want to take a punt on someone, bring in some differentials, right? Tavernier was very solid just before he got the injury. Solanke with a second return, straight return, so not too bad at all, right? So you never know. Might be some good assets to look at coming down to the end. When maybe the title is done and dusted. They want to get some assets that fighting to stay up.
Yeah.
I always like to go for those guys. Yeah. Because a lot of other FPL managers may not do that. So it might help you build up some ground or finish on a high,
Yeah.
All right. This was another interesting one. All of a sudden. But again, the same point with Bournemouth, Paul. When your assets come back, when your players come back into the team, it can galvanize you. A few players that were injured, and Liverpool were hit by injuries really hard this season. Right, I'm glad other teams finally know what it feels like. I know you all know what it feels like, but when we say it, people like to say, "Oh, you're making excuses." But I'm glad people understand what it is like when you have injuries and it could really ruin your season, right? But the players are back and they've been on a bit of a momentum. At least, they've been looking okay.
Yeah.
Liverpool 2, Newcastle 0. And as Liverpool are rising, Newcastle are in a bit of a decline and they're finally out of the top 4 spot. What does this mean for the assets that we've been coveting and holding on to tightly from Newcastle, Paul?
Yeah, Newcastle has been struggling of late, and I know for a while they were keeping the clean sheets, even if they were struggling with goals, but now it seems like they're starting to let in goals as well. So that may be an issue moving forward. They're not playing this week, so already people will be contemplating whether they should keep Trippier or if they should move on. I actually for my team, I had hope on my team since the beginning of the season, and I had to say goodbye because not only is the schedule getting a little more trickier, you can see their form starting to dip a little bit, and maybe it's just the running. They finally hitting that wall for the first time for the season. So you have to be careful watching at Newcastle assets right now.
Yeah. Cappy, thanks for coming through. Big up, Caps. We have Bradley in the chat. Bradley saying Saka for captain. I ain't sure Salah yet. Well, I know vex with you, Bradley at all. Thanks for coming through. All right. So we're just looking at the assets really quickly. So Darwin, Gapco. So again, consistent returns from them. Salah with another consistent return. And of course, one of my favorite defenders, Trent Alexander, back on the asset train. 12 points for him, a double points a game for him. No, I will bench that discussion. We'll talk about that later on because I want to ask you guys you all would have seen the polls I put up on Twitter and Instagram. Who are the best Liverpool assets to tackle this double? But we'll talk about that later on because of course Liverpool are doubling. But that was a shock. That was a shock result. All right, Paul, your team. All right, so big up Team Manu or Manchester United 3, Leicester 0. If you want to take it away and analyze, I'm just over the goalkeepers real quickly, Paul. So, of course, De Gea, clean sheet boss, save boss, 3 saves, so he had 7 points.
Some big saves.
And Ward 5 saves, so he was pretty busy as well, 2 points. All right, Paul, take it away and I'll break it down first.
Well, the first half, I do not know how Leicester City did not score. They had the measure, but I think early on in the game, like the first few minutes, we were dominating them, and then after that, they just started to unload on us, but we have to thank the here, as you mentioned before, pulled off some big saves for us, kept us in the game, and sometimes all it takes is one chance. Eventually, we got the breakaway, with Bruno finding Rashford, and was able to get through the first half. And second half we turned it on. We played much better. We were more focused, and we just kept it coming. We just kept the pressure on Leicester City, and eventually came out with a good result.
Solid. So Rashford was a brace, Sancho was a goal, Fernandes was a brace of assists, and one of my favorite Man U players. I don't want anybody to slander this man again. Fred Berto Carlos. Right? I hope you all watch. All those who didn't get to watch the UEL game today, go and watch back that game. Fred was amazing as always, but we won't go there. I have a question though: is Sabitzer injured? I didn't see him today, or is it something with playing in Champions League or something? I didn't see him.
Well, I know the previous game he would have been suspended because he had a carryover from in regards to yellow card. But I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I believe he was in the squad, but just wasn't called up.
I didn't see him featured. Right. So I was wondering that. I say I would ask you that question. So of course, Man U blanking, right? So we have to talk about what we'll do about those assets. If we have 2, 3. Do we bench them because it's just one game? We'll talk all that because that is critical as well. All right, another London derby. The scum from down the road. Spurs 2, West Ham 0. Spurs very frustrating because you just never know what the hell they're going to do. You don't know which asset's going to show up, who's going to score. But let's get straight into it. So of course, Fraser Foster holding on for Loris. Right, it was a clean sheet, so 6 points for him. Fabianski, 4 saves, scraped out 2 points. Emerson Royal. Now I must say, Emerson has been having a decent little patch recently. He come now with an assist, or a goal, sorry. So 15 points for him. I think he was the highest scoring defender for this particular game. So 15 points. Davies, his fellow defender, with an assist, so 11 points for him. Son, finally back on his foot. You looked decent in the last few games, but just had no end product, but got the end product this time. And of course, Kane with an assist. I know most people own Kane. Will we, as a Kane owner, Paul, or Kapil, you want to jump in, as a Kane owner, you're satisfied with that assist, or you wanted more from Kane, or you're happy with just getting some kind of return?
Yeah, you always be happy for a return, but I think Kane at the moment a little underwhelming for the price. If it was Ivan Toney, I would accept that. I'd accept assist, but the price range, and now with the doubles, you need Salah and these guys. Kane are kind of underwhelming for me right now.
All right, a whole lot notes because we'll talk about him later on. So of course, Son, back on the score sheet, but we'll talk about him in another topic. West Ham. No, I don't know. I really don't know. It's the weirdest thing, Paul, because to me, they've not sold anybody that was so significant and detrimental to the squad. It's the same squad that did great for the past 2 years. I don't know what it is. I don't know. And it's good assets, good players, Paul. I don't know. Yeah. I'm very confused by their form these days.
Yeah, they've been very underwhelming. And well, you made a mention that they didn't do. I know recently Dawson would have left. Is it Dawson?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's one of the worlds. But I mean, they still have the nucleus of the players that performed for them, just a few years ago. But they've been on a downward trend, and it's hard to explain why. Maybe a change of management might be checked.
To spark them up. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So that was the review. Let's get straight now and discuss our topics coming up for this game week and the assets that we are looking forward to. So let's get straight into it. So of course, This particular one I think will be very interesting. Buy, sell, hold, because of course it's a blank game week. But there's some guys that we've thrown in the rubbish that we now have to get them back. We have to do some dumpster diving now and bring them back. Most importantly, Salah. Now, my question, I'll go with Paul first, and anybody in the comments, no problem. Salah, does he buy one, right? Salah, Gakpo. You can only buy one. Salah, Gakpo, or Darwin.
Okay. Well, for me personally, I know this is a buy one situation. I want to have at least two of them.
All right.
I will
Go ahead. Expatiate on that point.
Yeah, I would go for Salah and Darwin. Actually, my team, I made a move to bring the two of them in for this game. I mean, besides the obvious double game week, yes, Liverpool has been having problems. Lately, the results have been in their favor with the last two games in the Premier League. But if you look at the underlying statistics for Salah and Darwin, they've been getting opportunities, they've been getting shots. You know, it's just a matter of finishing. The XG is actually low, exceeding what their output, what they actually putting out. So, if I had to go for anyone, I mean, obviously Salah is at the top of the list, then Darwin, and Gakpo as well. You know, you can make an argument for Gakpo to be another option.
Okay, all right. So does he buy? Because I'm trying to do it a little differently because we got to get some assets in here. We got to get some key assets in here. Now, Capio, right? It's a blank double game week coming up. We have some players that on fire, on form, but it may not make sense selling them. So I want you to tell me, do we hold these guys on the bench? I'm giving you some names here. Obviously, Rashford, Mitoma, and let me see one. How did you? Yeah, first of all, Rashford and Mitoma, right? And Trippier? So Trippier, Rashford, and Mitoma. Do we bench all three? Or do we sell one? Talk to me. So we benching all three? So we hold in those three?
You hold in those three because I don't think you want to own anybody else from Newcastle other than Trippier. So he's a hold. Rashford is a hold because he's the form player of the league. Mitoma, debatable. Based on if you could feel a 11. If you have a 11 that you're comfortable with, that you're sure nobody will be rotated or stuff, you hold Mitoma also. In fact, that's the 3 players I hold in.
Right.
And I'm taking a risk with Bueno to play. But that's the 3 players I hold in for those exact reasons. I would hold them.
All right. I ain't vexed with that at all. Now, sell. So who we selling? Who's the guys that we holding on to the most that we selling to tackle this gaming? So are we selling De Bruyne? Are we selling well, I guess people would have had Mahrez. Are we selling Mahrez? I'll just stick with the De Bruyne. So are we selling De Bruyne? Who else we can sell, boy? Are we selling Keane? All right, I like that. So are we selling De Bruyne, Keane, and are we selling Martinelli? Now I know he's doubling, but are you more enticed to bring in a Liverpool asset quicker than to hold Martinelli? So are we selling Keane, Martinelli, and De Bruyne? Anyone.
Selling. Well, once again, I use in my experience, I'm selling Keane. I've sold him already, in an effort to bring in Salah, to free up the money to bring in Salah. So selling Keane. If you have De Bruyne, I heard De Bruyne was ill this week. That's why he didn't participate in the Champions League game. So he is a little doubt where he's concerned. I'm not sure about selling Martinelli though, because although yes, he's been underwhelming recently. He did score in the last game, and he has a double game week fixer himself. So I mean, if I'm a Martinelli owner, I would hold on to it.
Okay. Now, before we move on, some cheeky buys again, right? So, of course, it's a double game week. Any Wolves Everton assets that tempting you could feel. Well, I'm gonna split it up. So Everton assets, Paul, and Wolves assets could feel. So could feel any Wolves asset is a double. Somebody say I want to tackle that game week with a Wolves asset. Which one you will recommend if you had gun to your head, Kapil? I know you're not even looking there, but gun to your head. Who you think?
Gun to my head, Wolves. Probably one of the centre backs, way.
All right.
One of the centre backs. I think Kilman or is Dawson.
Right.
I think that's the two centre backs.
Right.
They have a little goal threat in them. The Fulham game, you don't see much goals in that game. They could pull off a clean sheet there. And there's Liverpool. They beat Liverpool 3-0 in the first leg.
Correct.
So I do understand why we so high on Liverpool. We must get 3 Liverpool. So you never know what could happen. Liverpool is very underwhelming. Although they beat Newcastle the other day.
Yeah.
I don't trust any Liverpool assets wholeheartedly. But we just playing the game as we fixtures arise.
Right.
But one of the centre backs, Kilman or Dawson. I think Dawson have a better goal threat than Kilman.
Okay.
Because he get a lot of heading goals from West Ham. I think he had one already for the season.
Right.
So Dawson.
All right. And Everton assets, if we had to just get one, Paul, one.
Pickford is actually a good show. If you're looking for a keeper, let me say you're a Pope owner, or you're just trying to get in on the double game week, but you don't want to venture into the defense. He definitely could give you save points, and bonus points to go along with it. So even if you lose the clean sheet, you still have the ability to get some points from him. So yeah, I would say Pickford as a punt.
Okay, and I'll bet to that one.
Yeah.
All right. Transfer radar. So Paul, who on the transfer radar? Not necessarily that you're gonna bring him in now, but you're watching them based on the last game week. You say, all right, I might be interested. Anybody did that for you this game week?
Who was it, boy? I was watching Brighton assets. Although yes, they lost. They would have lost to Fulham in the last game. They have a upcoming double game week, and I believe they might have more than one double game week coming up.
Correct.
So and their schedule is looking pretty good as well. So I'm looking at Brighton assets. March, McAllister. I actually have Matoma already on my side,
Right.
Or even getting on their defense could be a good call too.
Yes. Bruno or something like that.
Yeah.
Kapil, anybody on the radar? On the radar?
You have a couple of them. Trent Alexander-Arnold is on my radar. You could see that he have a little upward momentum in form. Liverpool, they have the ability to keep a clean sheet. In this double A, at least one, you could see him getting assist. You could see him getting assist even if they concede.
Yes.
In one of the games. So Trent is high on my radar, even more than Salah. But funny enough, not for this game week, but a Brentford defender is on my radar.
All right.
They have a lot of doubles coming up, and they always look solid. Brentford always look solid. And if they concede one goal. So Brentford defender, and I would say Jadon Sancho.
All right, I like it. Because Brentford blanking soon, I think.
Brentford blanking this week.
This week, yeah. They're blanking this week.
Also, Manu blanking this week. I'm talking about forward planning.
Yeah, that's it. And I like it. That's what I say, not specifically just for this one. I understand. I like that. Right. In all of this segment, the traps. Who are the traps, fellas? Who's the traps? Who's the biggest trap right now, Kapil? Biggest trap.
Oh, you want one person or you just want that?
Well, traps, give me some traps. Give me for this game week. For this game week coming up. Who's the traps?
This game week, Man City players other than Haaland. Trap. Man City, I don't know who would ever start in any game week. I think we predicted Mahrez last week, but that was even before he played Champions League this week. So a Man City assets, some of them is traps. I don't want to say Salah, but I'm still not convinced on him. I'm still not convinced in Salah, but we'll leave him out of the cage for a while.
Yeah.
I still stand by Arsenal defenders as traps.
Right.
Arsenal defenders. I'm not confident on the defense. They're scoring goals, which is what's saving them right now. But the defense not convincing me. Zinchenko got a goal this week, but as less than more. That was a good shot.
Yeah.
So that's my traps for the few game weeks ahead. Couple game weeks ahead.
Paul, Give me 25. We blanking and we dumbling. Who's the biggest trap? Who's scaring you?
To be honest, Liverpool defense.
Mm.
Yeah, I know Captain would have mentioned Trent as a future pick, but I am afraid of Liverpool defense, to be honest. But I mean, although yes, he has the ability to give you assists. Um, still Liverpool defense looking very shaky. Even in the game that they won against Newcastle 2-0, Newcastle went down to 10 men when Pope got the red card, and it's like that didn't change anything. It actually made it easier for Newcastle. They got more opportunities. Um, so I don't know. I'm fearful of Liverpool defense, and I feel like going on any other defenders would be a trap. Just for this game, Nico. Just for this game.
I'm not actually saying that. I
Yeah,
understand what you're saying there. All right. So before we get to the captain picks, right? Our new segment, right? Back on the menu. So we had some guys that came out of nowhere and did some things, especially this game week. I want to mention Grealish, right? Grealish, because we did say he might be the better replacement if Mahrez is being dropped. He is the man, right? I wouldn't jump on the Bernardo train because he is real up and up and on. But I have him on one of my scout teams, so I was grateful for that. But as I said, Grealish is I would say one of the top guys right now back on the menu. Who else back on the menu from this game week alone, the past game week? Anybody else that catch you and say, hey, long time I see you, boy. All right, I might bring in anybody. Kapil,
Yeah, Sancho.
right?
Sancho looking good, and I like his price. And Rashford, everybody have Rashford, so he could be a nice little differential here with Rashford. They will assist each other, they will score off each other. So Sancho for me.
Paul, anybody that catch your eye from a past time?
Um, who boy? Well, Darwin, Darwin
Okay,
and Salah, the Liverpool assets.
okay.
Yeah, at least the attacking assets. I put my hand. Yeah.
Well, I have some differential names to shout out back on the menu. So I think we would have talked about Watkins already last week. Kapil, Watkins has to be back on that list. I think very very solid. He's back on the menu, and I think also want to shout out Tavernier from Bournemouth because we've been talking about him way before, and he's back now. He's healthy, he's fit, and I think he's definitely back on the menu for sure. But what about an expensive asset like Bruno? Is Bruno Fernandez, or he's just too expensive and is better midfield cover? What do you think?
Bruno is actually a good asset. It's team dependent though. It depends on how you're budgeting, how your team is looking. How you will fit in. Especially if you're trying to spread money around. Remember, you want to get in the Arsenal assets. You want to have your big hitters, mainly Haaland and Salah or Haaland and Kane. So maybe he might be a bit too expensive, but he's been in a good run of form lately, though. So he is somebody to look at. If you want to go a little differential.
All right, solid.
Yeah.
And of course, all right, as you say, so differentials now. So who's the best differential coming up for this game week? So I mean, I would have mentioned, but let's keep it the double game week players. Who the best differential double game week players? Because we want to tackle the double game week, right? So I guess we would have mentioned Kilman already. You mentioned Pickford already. No attacking players from Everton and Wolves, right? At all.
Underwhelming.
What was the and Neves
McNeil,
opponents?
McNeil could get
Right.
shots, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. he on corners.
Right.
The
Right.
differentials will probably come from Liverpool, like
Yeah, the
Gakpo,
attackers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like that.
Van Dijk. You also have Van Dijk is a good differential
Yeah.
because Van Dijk they score a lot of goals. So he may be even better than the fullbacks, whereas you have more goal threat than Trent and Robbo.
Yeah, from the
So
set
Van Dijk,
pieces.
Gakpo, yeah. From
What
Arsenal, well, we own most of the Arsenal players.
Right.
Probably Zinchenko, as I say. But again, the defense though don't impress me. So
Yeah.
Zinchenko, yeah.
All right. A guy they mentioned, Arsenal. Eddie, we're not really jumping on Eddie anymore, right? I mean, he did his time. He gave us some good service. Does it for Eddie, or because is a double coming up? You're not interested in Eddie?
Independent, like if you own Eddie, you would still be happy to own him because he there in and about the action. He's just not finishing. I thought he could have easily gotten 3 or 4 goals last 3 games,
Correct.
to be quite
Correct.
honest with you.
Correct.
So it was disappointing from an ownership standpoint. But if you're planning to wildcard and things soon, the next couple game weeks, Eddie's still a good option. He's just not even on the squad yet, so he will sure play for the next 4 game weeks. I
Yeah.
think.
Yeah,
So
he's just returning soon, but yeah, we still
yeah,
have time with
so
Eddie.
he'll be integrated back into the team and not going to
Yeah.
be today for tomorrow. So he at least have 4 more game weeks in him. And I think they have a double, then they have Bournemouth, they have Fulham. So why not?
All right, I ain't vexed with that at all. Captain options. Now, before we talk about the double gaming players, who's the best single gaming player that, if you're mad enough, you just want to go on a single gaming player that you think could rival the double gaming? You know, there's some people that do this.
Yeah.
Right? I do agree, but there are people that do this. So who's the usual? Who you think will be the best options for that before we get into the double gaming players? Paul.
Well, I mean, it's obvious. The first name I'll call, Alan.
Of course, Harry Kane, right?
Yeah. Oh, Hurricane too. Yeah.
I just joking.
Oh.
Alan.
Actually,
Alan, of course.
Hurricane might not be a bad shot, coming up against Chelsea.
Because Chelsea not too hot, and Spurs playing home. Chelsea not too hot. No, but of course Haaland. Of course, they wouldn't bet against Haaland. And Haaland,
he's coming up against Bournemouth, so
yes. But as I mentioned before, their defense has been fortified. We've seen what they did against Nottingham Forest. So I mean, and Bournemouth to me have more attacking threat than Nottingham. So especially with all these boys back, Solanke, Billings having their back. So, but again, we'll see. We'll see. All right, so double game week captain. So I'm guessing it's a Saka versus Salah, or is there anybody else to throw any name to throw in the ring there, Kapil? Or is just Saka versus Salah?
Not just Saka versus Salah, the two most obvious picks. There'll be 50-50 amongst the publics, but I actually think Darwin is a good show this week if you wanna attack this game week. Darwin, he always has a lot of chances each game. I know you mentioned XG and stuff. He's very high on that list, and you could see him getting something this week. I know I'm confident owning Haaland this week. I'm sorry, not Haaland, Darwin this week, even more than Salah, because you could see how he playing with a little confidence. Like, I think he finished a couple of goals in the last 2 weeks, which would give him the confidence. And these fellas just go on streaks when they score 1, they score 2, they score 3. He also looks good for assists. I find he's playing some good balls in behind defenses, and he has speed. He could earn a penalty. So if I was trying to build rank, I would go with Darwin.
Okay, I'm not vexed with that. Now, I glad you mentioned. So we have a poll in the chat there, guys. I have best captain option. I just put Saka and Salah. It's 50-50 right now. Right? It's currently 50-50. So people are split there on that one. I will quickly go Darwin as well too, just for the differential. And
it's just a fun pick.
And I think Odegaard is a decent differential from Arsenal. So if you want to look at,
I've been hearing Odegaard in some of the chats on Twitter and stuff.
Yeah, I think
there's nothing coming up. Yeah.
I was actually going to mention Odegaard as a differential captain pick. Yeah. Because the ability to create, he creates a lot of opportunities, and he also may score, every now and again. So yeah, he's a good, and he's a bonus points because he's always involved in the action. He's like a bonus points magnet, So Odegaard could be a good differential captain shot as well.
But who would you go to? Like, I see somebody mentioned it earlier in the chat, Saka or Salah. If you had to choose one.
If I had to choose, it's a difficult one. And the good thing with Salah and Saka, they both on penalties. So immediately that puts them out in front, But if I had to, right now I have it on Salah. I'm still contemplating, but right now I'm leaning towards Salah because I know he has that ability to put in a big goal. I know he struggled this season, but we've seen what Salah could do in the past. He could easily score 2 goals, score a hat trick in one of those 2 games. You just never know. So right now it's on Salah, but I could see where people would make an argument for Saka as well because he's also creative, along with his goal threat. So
Well, let me complicate that question a little more there because I like that question, KP. Let me complicate it a little more there. For those that still have the triple captain button, is this a good time to use it? Salah triple captain, good shout, or too risky?
This is the last time to use it, I think, because we'll be using we other chips in the next few game weeks with the doubles and the blanks and stuff. So this is as I say, the only play for what you see in cards. I think they said in all fours, play for what you see and play this week. I think because 90% of the people played already, so you have a lot of upside there. And if you play the triple captain, you could go Saka. If you play the normal captain, you could go Salah. Because Saka a little more sure for points.
Right. I ain't vexed with that at all. All right, so let's just take a quick looky-loo at the standings, points, who did what. So this is me here for the game week 24, 61 points.
Good game week.
Yeah, at all.
Good game week, yeah.
Happy with that. Right. So of course I brought in Kepa, a bench Leno, right? But I Mikalenko, Ream, so big up. And of course, Kilman, Trippier, Rashford, 15 points. I captain Saka, had Mitoma, Odegaard, 8 points. Keane with the assist, nothing from Haaland. Nothing to cry about on the bench, just Leno, but I'm not upset. That's how it goes sometimes. I'm not vexed as well. Right? Let me take a quick look. So I know the fantasy pavilion Rab's heating up. It's heating up. Right? It's getting very sticky. So right now, Kapil is still on top, 53 points. Right behind him, a good friend of mine is one of the guys that helped us with the production of these episodes sometimes, Stefan Curry. And dropping to third, right? One of the top players in Trinidad, Ian Mamley. So let's take a quick look at these squads. Let's see who did what and why. So of course, 47 points by Caps boy.
Yeah. One of those weeks. Yeah.
They touch it this week. So Kepa, Shaw, Bueno, Trippier, De Bruyne, Mitoma, Rashford, Saka, of course, and Ketia, Keane, Haaland, right? Captain Haaland, yeah, boy. You know me, I'm anti-Captain Haaland, anti.
Yeah, it worked this week.
Yeah, anti-Captain Haaland for sure. Right, but that don't mean it was a bad call at all. He is Puma. To me, he is now the Salah. He's Puma captain.
Yeah.
All right, big up Curry. So, all right, so Stephen Curry, 60 points. Not too bad at all, man. So, he had Pope. I know that it was. Yeah. Oh, wow. Ward-Prowse. Okay, so Ward-Prowse, Shaw, Odegaard, Rashford, Fernandes. So, that's a solid midfield there.
Yeah, that's strong.
Midfield. That's a very strong midfield. We had Keane with 5 and Haaland with 4. So, not bad at all. That's a very solid game week there. Brady now, Paul just sent me his team. I'll pull it up quickly. Right, I'll put up Ian on by the time. So the average was what? 47. So I mean, somebody you'll be happy with 60 and above, yeah. More or less, Kapil, Paul.
60
was actually a good call.
within the first million, so that's an excellent gimmick.
Yeah, I had a
This week was a tough week.
Yeah, it was tricky because a lot of I think it's more of a differential week this week. So as I said, like Grealish, Bernardo, topped it up, that kind of thing. When
As Haaland blanked and made it a differential week. If he had scored I think the average would have gone up because of the captaincy and stuff.
Right. Yeah, I understand.
He's better than Haaland, yeah.
Correct. Because a lot of course the main template has Haaland as captain. Yeah. Before we look at Ian, I'll bring up Paul's score really quickly. So Paul 40s as well, like Caps. So Pope boy, yeah boy.
Yeah,
you mentioned Pope. Yeah. We can't go wrong, eh? Pope solid. Pope has been very solid. So I mean,
can't complain.
But that was a madness, boy.
Yeah, that was crazy. Yeah.
You don't think he could have used his feet, Paul?
But I don't know what happened. I think he got confused. He was in like two minds. And I think he was attempting, when I look at it, it looked like he was attempting to head at the ball, and he just got it. He
Yeah,
mistimed
wrong.
it. He got it all wrong. He just got it all wrong.
But I think he could have used his feet, man.
I
Like
think
a
he,
super
I
keeper.
think he mistimed the bounce.
Yes.
And that's what threw him off completely.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and he had no choice. He had to do it. He had to do it. Yeah. So of course he had Shaw, me, Gabriel, Saka, Mitoma, Rashford, Odegaard, Keane, Haaland, Tony. So I'm well, nothing to cry about in the bench. Or that's always a greaser. You're happy that you at least you didn't have 8 points on the bench or 12 points on the bench. That's always a good
and well,
feeling.
the funny thing is, you seen Mahrez and Lewis on the bench. I actually had them in my starting lineup.
Right.
Yeah, so it was just one of those weeks, you know.
Yeah.
And I had a feeling Mahrez went to start, but I didn't want to do the transfer. I wanted to bank the transfer for next week, so I just went along with it and hope for the best.
And we spoke about that at Caps, that it at least try to have somebody still on the bench in case, because we knew Champions League, and Sudan he scored in the Champions League, so that's something to pay attention to. When and especially now is 1-1 in their tie, so they'll be going fit. So I think they will rest some. They have some interesting games coming up again. They will rest.
Yeah.
So most likely Bernardo Grealish will be the main focal point. So look out for that. Look out for that. Right, trying to predict Pep is a sign.
We'll get some time in the coming weeks.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Foden has to get some time.
Yeah.
Right. So a quick peek at Ian here, right? So Ian 51 points. He had Kepa, Shaw, Trippier, White, Saka, Rashford, De Bruyne, Odegaard, Haaland, Nanto, and Kane. And of course, he had Andreas on the bench. So not too bad. So a lot of the top boys. The differentials killed you all this game week. The differentials, yeah, it was a differential game week. It really was. All right.
If you had Captain Rashford, you would have definitely gotten through as well. So
yeah, I think that would have. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Let me just show you my plans quick now before we go into the fixtures. Right. So this is me right now. This is my bus team. So if something happens to me right now, this is my team. All right. So I put in Leno back up. I've started. I always had Mikalenko, as you know. So I started Mikalenko, Reem, Kilman, Ailing. I brought in Trent, Odegaard, Saka. I brought in Gakpo, and I'm sticking with Kane and Haaland up top. So no Salah for me. Right. I am playing around with the armband for now, but I'm keeping it on Saka because I don't want to. Because deadline is tomorrow, so I don't want to toggle it and next thing I forget to put it back and I cry. So I'm keeping it on Saka for now, but maybe 4 in the morning or so I will. Maybe rearrange, right? And of course, on the bench, Johnson, Rashford, Mitoma.
So this is with no changes?
No, I brought in 2 players. So I brought in Gakpo and Trent.
Okay.
Yeah, I brought in Gakpo and Trent, right? So I got rid of Mahrez and I got rid of Trippier. And I got rid of Trippier.
Yeah. The problem I have De Bruyne and I need Salah, but I have exact funds, so I need to make 3 changes to facilitate Salah and Trent. Yeah. So that is my surgery for the next
hours. Yeah.
Before I sleep, I'll probably decide on it.
But couple, you have the free transfer or you have the extra
I have 2 free, so I'll make 3.
Okay.
If I need to I think I want Salah and Trent. So I need to probably sell Kane or something.
Right.
Kane to Darwin to get any money.
Right. No, what's your thoughts on this team here, Paul? No Salah. Is that alarming to you, or you think I have enough firepower for the double game?
Actually, no, that's a good shout because what I realized you did, instead of everybody's going for Salah, but you would have went for the cheaper option in midfield and Gakpo, who's even more of a differential, and then you put the money into Trent. So I actually find that's a good move. You know, I contemplated it myself as well. You know, to give you more of a differential to what everybody in the field is doing, because everybody going and run down Salah.
Of course.
And,
Yeah. Funny enough, with your team, I jealous of defense because I won't be surprised if each one of those defenders and the keeper get a clean sheet at some point in the game week.
Yeah.
I love the defense.
Yeah. Even the single game week guys, maybe minus Ailing maybe, but the single.
But against Southampton, it's Southampton.
Yeah.
I won't be surprised if they shut Southampton out because they have been better defensively too.
And they're playing home.
Southampton main goal threat is a free kick from Ward-Prowse.
For Ward-Prowse, correct.
Yeah, it's not a main.
Yeah, or Che Adams sometimes.
Yeah.
So that's it. But the only thing really, do you think my bench is super weak or because it's a blank, meh.
Yeah. I wouldn't bother about that. Yeah.
Yeah.
If somebody
It's a
doesn't
blank.
play, doesn't play. You can't
Yeah.
worry much because I have a lot of people be taking hits. A lot of people who have 9 or 10 players. So I think you're in good stead here.
Once you could get out an 11, you're looking good.
Yeah, don't try to predict the managers who open.
Yeah. So this is Paul's team, his game plan here. Paul, run us straight quickly now before we move on to the fixtures.
All right. Well, I made my transfers already. I made them today actually. Well, any week was Pickford. What I did is I sold Pope, I brought in Pickford. Sold Mahrez, brought in Salah, and I sold Kane and I brought in Darwin. Okay. So I had 2 free transfers, so took a D-4 hit to make those changes. Contemplated that I may make one more change, and that is taking out Shaw for Mikalenko.
Okay.
So that I have the extra defender. So at least I have 10
going in,
yeah. 10 going in, yeah.
10 could okay.
But the reason why these guys are trying to hold on to Tony and me and Matoma, they're all on my bench because they have the double game week coming up in 27. So
yes.
Yeah, I decided to hold on to those guys and just make my changes elsewhere.
Yeah, so, I know extra that team. Kapil, any holes, anything you seen, or you cool with this team?
Yeah, I would take a hit for sure for somebody.
Yeah, just to go with the 10 for sure.
It don't even have to be like Everton. It could be a single who would be playing good fixtures coming on. It don't even have to be for double.
Yeah.
Because I'm looking at Rico Lewis and all, that's what making me want to take another hit because Rico Lewis isn't a surety. I don't know if he might play. I don't know if Pep might say, well, all right, let me give him a run out because he's played Walker in 3 straight games, you know.
Don't try to predict Pep. You can leave him. I think that's a good shout. Rico Lewis is a good shout this week.
Yeah.
So just to embolden, to strengthen it more, just take out Shaw and bring in Nicolai.
That's
running with 10. Yeah, I know Vex with that 10.
That's a 10 is cool because you may minus in for each player. So
yeah. All right, so let's take a little peek at the fixtures now. You know, we like to talk about the assets because you never know. You might bring up somebody that will come out on Trump for you all this weekend. So of course, tomorrow the deadline is 2:30 our time, right? Caribbean time, EST, and the first game is Fulham versus Wolves at 4 p.m. So, Paul, well, you know this segment works, right? So give me one from each team now. Give me them decent assets to look forward to. Of course, Wolves doubling, so we'd have mentioned a few already. So take it away now, Fulham Wolves. At least one asset from each team, please.
This looked like it might be a low-scoring affair. So I'm looking at the defensive side. Leno, they come a bit big for them again. He's been in good form. For Wolves, well, Sa is always there. I hope Bueno start, or even one of maybe Wolves pull off the upset, and who knows, Dawson or Kilman could do something for them as well. Definitely bonus points for sure, and a clean sheet.
All right, I ain't back to that. So, Caps, we have Everton, another one of the doublers. Everton versus Villa. This is a very interesting one because, of course, Villa have been doing decently. Right, of course, they lost to Arsenal City, but they have been scoring goals. Most important, even though they're losing, they've found back their goal scoring form. And Everton now are defensive now. So it's the two extremes. Talk to me. One best good asset from each team.
I'll go with Villa first. I like Moreno, the left back.
Right.
So because Everton not really scoring any goals, and he's a full back, so he could always be in the action with bonus points, with assist potential. So I can see him getting a screamer this week. So I'll say Moreno. And for Everton, if Everton is to get anything out of this game, they'll play for a 0-0 or 1-0 or something. So in that case, I'll go for Tarkowski because again, he looking like the central man in any set piece. He's just they're looking to find him more than the centre forward and the other guys. So Tarkowski and Moreno.
Yeah, another extra that.
This game could be a 1-0, it could be a 0-0.
It could be
defenders who could nick something. Yeah,
it'll be great for us, especially those who have Mikalenko, Tarkowski. I will take that 0-0 any day.
Yeah, that would be a good upside.
Yeah, I will take that any day. Or especially with Pickford, Paul. I know you will at least one clean sheet for the double will feel good.
Yeah,
Right,
yeah,
Paul?
yeah, 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 yeah. And,
Which
and, and
one?
of course, the other game is against Arsenal, so you're definitely hoping they get a clean sheet against Fulham.
I nearly convinced myself to make a hit from Tarkowski. You know?
Nah, I
Yeah,
haven't.
I was contemplating it myself too,
Yeah,
but I
but
find so much people are not trained by.
I don't want to take out Bueno. I feel he could get something against against
Yeah,
Fulham.
yeah. I actually have going
Yeah.
on myself. Yeah.
Well, all right. So next up we have Leeds, Southampton. I'll take this one. So of course, Southampton visiting Ellen Road. Southampton have to win. They have no choice. They have to win because they're of course battling relegation. Leeds as well, but Leeds have been a decent upside. Decent upside. They just have to start scoring more goals. I'll go with Bamford. Bamford and Holder play has been pretty decent recently. Can't go wrong with that. And Southampton, if they have this, why I don't know why it's with Southampton. I think in goalkeeper way, Bazunu, lows. We're looking for some nice low scoring
Yeah, yeah.
goalkeepers now, some cheap assets because right now we're going full hilt till the end of the season. Now we're trying to bring in some of the big boys finally returning, or some guys. So we want to fix up our midfield, pack up the strikers.
Yeah.
So you'll be busy. So you want someone to bring in the save points. So you never know, might be a decent shout for this particular game, right? Paul, Leicester, Arsenal. I'm not doing it on purpose. I want somebody else, unbiased to do it for me. So Leicester, Arsenal. Best asset from either one of them. This game, I think I'm not understanding Leicester at all because Leicester loves to play us, and we have a bit of a. It's not a grudge match, but we were the only team, and along with Liverpool, to beat them on the run to the Premier League. So we have a nice vibe, and they sometimes give us trouble as well. I always remember that opening game that Friday night. It was friggin' 4-3. Always craziness with
I
Leicester when
remember
you
that.
Yeah.
right? So I'm not underestimating at all. Madison is back, Barnes on fire, Iheanacho on fire,
Mhm.
right? So I'm not underestimating him. So Paul, take it away. Best assets for this particular match if we tackling a Leicester Arsenal.
Well, yeah, as you rightfully say, Leicester has been looking good recently from an offensive standpoint. As I said before, Manchester United was lucky not to concede against them. So I would look at guys like Barnes and Iheanacho, as you said, Madison is back. Um, he's basically the man running that midfield or running the show for Leicester City. And well, of course, the usual suspects with Arsenal, Odegaard or Saka or Nketiah, Martinelli. Any one of those could have a big game, you know. So I looking at a score line in this one, probably 2-3. Arsenal might pick it out in the end. And their defense has been shaky lately. So yeah, 3-2, 4-2. But
Yeah.
there'll definitely be some goals in this game.
Yeah, for sure. West Ham versus Nottingham Forest Kapil. This is another interesting one again because West Ham in a bit of they're about patchy. They did good against Chelsea the other day, and then bam, gonna lose the next game, and then Nottingham with a big draw against City. So they'll be on the up. We have to see what their away form is looking like because we spoke
Yeah.
about that earlier, Paul. Their away form is what determines
Yeah.
sometimes a result or assets react. So West Ham versus Nottingham Forest. Can Nottingham beat up the bubbles? Can they take the bubbles? Withstand the bubbles? Kapil, talk to me.
I am. West Ham normally tight at home,
Mhm,
to be honest with
mhm,
you.
mhm.
Although they're not impressive in their attacking, but they're normally tight at home. And when they're tight at home, you can see them. They can have 1-0 against a Forest team, which not that good on the road as they are home. They're better at home. So I would say like somebody like Emerson.
Right.
Emerson is very impressive. Since Cresswell is injured because he haven't played for a while.
Yeah.
So since his integration into the team, he has looked threatening. He
Yes.
scored against Chelsea. He's always been a good player, in fact, but always been second fiddle to whichever team he went. But he's always a good left back, very underrated. So I'll say Emerson from West Ham. And if I had to go to somebody from Forest, I would say Serge Aurier. He has
Okay.
transformed their team. I
Mhm.
said it a couple of weeks back. That made them look. They remind me of Sheffield sometimes. I told you that.
Yes.
Sheffield
Yes.
United. When Sheffield United had the good run a couple of years ago before the COVID.
Yes.
Nottingham Forest remind me of them a lot. They always seem to nick something from our game, especially in the bigger teams. So I would say Serge Aurier and Emerson.
Yeah, I love that shot. Ori has been amazing for them.
Yeah.
You're spot on there, spot on. Because I've been watching a few other games, and he has been very, very solid for them. So you're very spot on there with that. I like that shot. All right. So moving right along, we have Bournemouth versus City. Big, 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 big game. That is a big game, right? Because City drop points here again, right? So for me, Bournemouth asset going forward right into this one. I want to say Tavernier. Now that Tavernier is back on the back now in the team. I think Tavernier might be he might cause you most problems for City. The defense not too hard. They concede in almost every game now, right? So even with Edison, even with the changing up Kyle Walker and all these guys, nothing seems to be working with that defense. So they're bound to concede in this one. But I may give them the edge to win. And of course, to me, the best asset right now, given all the pep roulette, had to be Grealish. Has to be Grealish, right? I can see Mahrez back in the squad for this one, but Grealish, I think, might be the main asset. Paul, I know you have to run away, but before you run away, you want to give us any parting words before you bounce out? Anything else before you leave? Or give us just one quick now, Crystal
Yeah,
Palace.
I'll get this one quick.
Yeah.
So this is what Crystal Palace, Liverpool.
Liverpool.
Yeah. This should be well. Once again, we know Crystal Palace has been struggling to score goals, and then Liverpool has had their own problems recently. But I know Liverpool have a good history against them, so maybe a 2-1, 1-0 in favor of Liverpool. I'm thinking. And usual suspects Salah, Darwin, Gakpo, even Trent could do something. But I don't have much confidence or faith in Crystal Palace pulling off anything against Liverpool, to be quite honest. So, and I think they're still missing Zaha, right? So that could be a bit of a problem for them as well. So yeah, I'm guessing 2-0 to Liverpool.
Yeah, but Palace still at home, man. So
they will pop a fight. They will pop a fight. Yeah. But I feel Liverpool will take this.
All right, no worries at all. All right, man. Paul, thanks. It was great having you.
All right,
catch you in the next one, man. Take care, bro.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, man. Take care.
Yeah. So, Caps, talk to me. London Derby, big London Derby. Spurs hosting Chelsea. Assets.
You know, a few years ago, you rushed to TV to watch this game. I'm not sure if we will do it this year, but it is just so overwhelming. Spurs and Chelsea.
Correct.
The team in front of the goalposts. You could see this game being a grind once again, a 1-0 either way. So, if that's the case, I'll be very surprised if it's a high scoring game, to be honest with you. I think Potter wouldn't go there and open up to get hit on the counter with Son and Kane and those guys. He played a kind of compact game. So, Thiago Silva, I was impressed with Thiago Silva, how for his age, how he commands the defense.
Yes.
Reece James, this could be a Reece James game.
All right. Yes.
Because I think Tottenham is the more likely a team to concede here.
Okay.
So and Reece James always had that high ceiling that he never seems to fulfill anymore. This could be one of those games where he just goes crazy. So Reece James, Thiago Silva, Chelsea, Spurs. Most people have Kane, so you'd say Kane will be the goal threat. I think they'll bring Son off the bench again because it seems to be working. Every time he come off the bench, he scored a trick there. Last year he scored again today. So, last week, sorry. So maybe Kane. They could see Kulu nicking something, but I will stick with Kane and I'll stick with Reece James from Chelsea.
Okay. I like that. I'm not vexed with that too. All right. Arsenal Everton. So of course Arsenal will be looking for revenge, right? They lost when they went away. But we normally do good at home when we host Everton.
Yeah.
Not too frightened with home.
Is the away fixer?
And I did say that, right? Yeah. I mean, I know my team. And when you go away to Everton, is always pressure. But I could see us doing something here, causing some damage. But of course, it won't be easy, especially on our way side from Sean Dyche. They set up that low block and just wait for you. But I think we should have enough for them, and of course with the home crowd. Best asset for, of course, with Dublin. So I will say I can see a Martinelli shining in this kind of game, and of course for Everton, I want to bank on Mikalenko nicking something, you know, I have him, no problem with that at all. If you get an assist, if you win 2-1 and you get an assist, so clean sheet in the first game and assist here, I happy with that. I happy with that.
9 short points there.
I taking that, bro. Last game, Liverpool Wolves, bro. Talk to me.
Well, Liverpool in this one at Anfield, so you would expect them to get a clean sheet. I say they expect. I think this double game week, our Liverpool defender, I know we say that we underwhelmed with the defense, but our Liverpool defender is more necessary than an attacker. Because I can see 2 clean sheets in this game because Palace is finding it hard to score and Wolves is finding it hard to score. So if there's any week I had a bet on a Liverpool defender, it's this week. So again, I'm going for a tight game. Maybe I 1-0 or 2-0 to Liverpool here. So I'm going to one of the fullbacks for this game. Trent or Robbo. I can see them getting something in this game. Wolves, on the other hand, again, I don't know where the goal's coming from. But if they have one goal threat in them, is Ruben Neves.
Yes.
So he has penalties, he has a free kick, and he has a wicked shot from outside the box. And you can see them shooting a lot in this game because of the nature of Liverpool defense.
Yeah.
So Ruben Neves from Wolves and one of the fullbacks from Liverpool. I don't see if Liverpool win the game that they will win 3 or 4-0. That's why I say one of the fullbacks. Yeah.
You know who might poison Liverpool too, boy? Podence.
He starting regularly or he coming off the bench?
No, he coming off, but he might poison them.
Yeah, well, later down in the game when they are tired.
Yeah. All right, so our last and fun segment now of the show. Now, I was thinking to do something a little different with this appeal. You'll let me know what you think. Right? I was thinking, seeing as there may be some people that have no choice but to free hit. I was thinking we just make a quick free hit 11. I don't know what you think.
Yeah,
right?
that could look.
So this won't be our typical just differential. We put in all the names, the big boys, everything, right? So this will be a free hit 11 for those who may have 3 Man U access, 2 Brighton, or you had 3 Newcastle, 3 Man U, or vice versa. So you're in a bit of a jam and you have to free hit. We want to try and put a good free hit team forward for you all to use. Okay, so
I like that.
Yeah, man. Just now, hold on. We have thanks for coming through, bro. What's the question? What's up, guys? Still undecided between the similarly template, all in Liverpool, or Fate, right? So, we just touched on that. So, for me personally, I am going with Trent. I have Trent and Gakpo. That's all I have there. But no, Kapil and my other guests would have mentioned Salah, of course. The template is Salah. Right? But Kapil, based on if you're trying to gain rank, the best person to go for, if you're trying to gain rank, the best Liverpool assets.
A defender for sure.
Right.
One of the fullbacks.
And if you're holding rank,
you go with Salah and you go with our defender.
Yeah.
But if you look at the gain rank, you go with the triple up. You go with Darwin, you go with Salah, and you go with one defender because owning 3 of them alone is a differential.
Yeah, correct.
Because most people have 2. So you have 3 of them and you go with So you might have to take a hit or 2, but the hit could be a calculated risk because sometimes a hit is a weapon to gain rank.
Yeah. They have it. I hope that answered the any more questions. Feel free, bro. Travis, thanks for coming through. All right, so let's do a quick free hit here. So this should be easy because it's not differential. We're looking at big boys, right? So we're tackling the double game week, right? You have Salah and KDB already. Ooh, that's pricey. That's very pricey. And I'm assuming Haaland.
You could sell KDB to fund some moves.
Yeah. So I'm assuming Salah, KDB, Saka, Haaland, maybe.
I'm not sure KDB would play this week.
Yeah, KDB under the weather.
So we could start with Saka and Salah.
Yeah. No, I'm assuming he has. That's what he has. Most likely, that's what he has.
You could probably type in the team and let me see if we could.
Yeah. Let me see. KDB, he didn't feel good right after the game with Forest on Sunday. Currently being assessed. He may return, but it's just an illness. It's not necessarily an injury, but it's 50%. So we're not sure yet. But I don't see Pep forcing him. Pep have enough artillery. I don't see Pep.
Yeah, I see Foden getting some minutes, as I say.
Yeah. Right. But as we said, and then of course too, we have Arsenal. How much Arsenal assets you have, Travis? That's our next thing to answer. All right. So what formation we going in? 3-8-11. Talk to me.
We don't have much strikers on now.
That's it.
We have enough strikers, you know. We could go 3-4-3.
Okay.
We could go and get here.
Right. So obviously the first name is Haaland. You must have Haaland in the team.
Yeah, because
Right.
again, much I just can't risk it.
Yeah, can't risk it. Right. So you must have Haaland. Right now, again, this is not our usual 11. For those that follow the show, this is a free hit team that we're doing. It's a quick free hit team, a free hit guide that we're doing here, right? So of course, Haaland. All right. Double gaming players. We packing it up with a lot of them. Talk to me.
Darwin.
Yeah,
Darwin. We're gonna attack him.
All right. So Darwin has to be here. Right? Talk to me.
We have Saka.
Must have
Salah.
Saka. Must have Saka. Yeah.
Right. We could go triple Arsenal attack, or we could go a defender. So we could hold up on the third Arsenal for the while.
Okay.
Because I think it have more upside with the triple Arsenal attack this game week. Because they're playing Leicester. Leicester
Right.
leaking a lot of goals.
Yes.
So we can probably hold back on the Arsenal for the while.
Okay.
I try to populate the defense.
All right. So
we have your boy Mikalenko or Tarkowski, either one.
you could go with the
Either they're comfortable with.
Mikalenko as a differential. What? Yeah, now put the Tarkowski.
All right.
That's him. I think that's what it's probably. Please forgive me.
We have Trent.
Yeah. Must have Trent. Yeah.
All right. So we have 3 Liverpool there.
But he like KDB is a diff. Yeah, why not? But as I said,
it's a risk that he don't play. Just
yeah, that's the only thing. So make sure somebody good on your bench. That's all. If you don't wanna, hold on to him and you're thinking, okay, Pep just playing and he might play, no problem. But make sure you have somebody still on the bench to come on.
To cover in case.
Yeah, to cover.
He's somebody who playing. Yeah.
Yeah. And you have 3 Arsenal assets. Well, all right, you can't go wrong. Right, talk to me. So, who's the best keeper, boy?
Somebody in the double I feel because it's 2 games.
Who do you have the highest potential for at least one clean sheet, boy?
Sa.
Ooh.
Because against Liverpool, he could get a lot of save points.
Saves, I like
and
it.
He could save and he could get a clean sheet against Fulham. Yeah.
Yes. I like it a lot. Right.
What's the other team that doubling?
Right.
Everton,
Liverpool, Arsenal. No, I mean,
and
any single
Wolves.
gaming players that you could check in this free hit or no?
Let me just check the fixtures. Any single game week.
Because we have 3 spaces there.
We have 3 spaces. Oh, we already determined how much Arsenal we want to go with.
Right. So we have Saka already.
So we could go with either Odegaard or Nketiah.
Mm-hmm. Who's the other interesting striker? Kane.
And it have Nketiah, it have Keane, there's Watkins.
Oh, I like that Watkins.
Watkins playing Everton.
Ooh, so and then that going against Obi-Wan.
Yeah, going against, but I mean, we playing for Everton double.
Yeah, true.
So, yeah.
Well, like Eddie?
If you want to go Eddie.
I know, boy. I'm not really feeling Eddie. Who are you feeling?
I think Odegaard is a better pick than Eddie.
Okay. I agree. Right.
So we have our 3.
We have 3. Let's pick up a 3 single game week now.
I like
Oh, you want more Liverpool assets? You want
No,
more?
we already have 3 Liverpool.
All right, so you're good with that.
We have 2 Arsenal, so we could go 1 more Arsenal, either a defender, not a mid, either a defender or a forward.
So I think a Ben White or Zinchenko.
Ben White not sure to start, and he don't really have much attacking threat. I feel Gabriel.
Yeah, like that.
I say Gabriel because he have a goal threat in him. More than Ben White.
I put in one case here for Travis.
Yeah, no problem.
I like that watch out. Because I mean
because
it's a free team too, so you will be able to pack it up with it don't make you had to mix it up with some single game week, Yeah.
So you want to go Arsenal defense?
So Gabriel, you like Gabriel?
I like Gabriel.
All right.
I mean we probably will go higher Gabriel or Zinchenko, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And one more player. A single game week or a double?
You're going single. Well, we're not sure who will start from City. Else I'll go Maris.
Or Grealish.
or Grealish. So we have Mahrez. Well, we have Grealish. We have
Bernardo.
James Madison.
Ooh.
James Madison. We have somebody from City, James Madison. And that's about it. One of the two.
That's not a bad shout,
Yeah.
Because
I mean, Madison is fixture proof.
Yeah. No, correct.
Madison is fixture proof.
But feeling wild,
Well, we'll do our wild pick now. We already are 10 strong.
All right. It's real wild, eh?
Yeah.
I've been telling from Bernard. You go poison City.
Why not?
You will poison City. All right, guys. So this is our free hit 11 for game week 25. I'm sure there's some folks who are in a bit of a predicament. You have 6 assets at blanking, or probably 4. You on the bench 2, or maybe you're thinking, all right, just free hits, come back to the team. Because you're not going to lose your whole team. You're just free hitting really quickly for this, so it's not too bad at all. And to
Do
me,
our favor now. Just we'll check this points post
right. Let me
post game.
download it one time.
I feel it's sitting more than 100.
I go and download it. Right. So
I feel it's sitting more than 100. Yeah.
Right. So now, Caps, let's look back at it really quickly. You think we missed out on some double gaming players? No, it's a free team, so you could fill it up if you want, but you think it's balanced enough. What do you think?
It balanced because you don't want to go too Everton defenders because they could not get any clean sheets.
Correct.
You have Sa, who not sure for a clean sheet, but you could get save points.
Save points. You can at least get 10 points from him over the 2, or at least 8 points over the 2. Yeah.
Gabriel has clean sheet potential and a goal check.
Right.
Trent has a potential for 2 clean sheets for points attacking. Odegaard and Saka is the 2 informed players for Arsenal.
Yeah.
Salah is a must-have this week. Haaland is a must-have. Watkins in form. Darwin is one of the best differentials you could have this week in terms of even captaining him. And we just wanted a left field pick with Darwin. So yeah, I cool with that.
Well, all right, and there you have it. So I want to thank everyone for coming through. Madison injured in training. Ooh.
Yeah. This guy could never be fit for consistent.
For a consistent period of time. Well, yeah, we have to see how James is. He's still nursing his knee injury. We just need to assess that.
Doesn't sound too confident.
Yeah, Travis, thanks for that. Right. So, solid piece of advice for the game week appeal as we looking to wrap up there.
All right. Don't mash up a team because we have doubles, because there's game week 26, 27 is our next double, 28 is our blank, 29 is our next double. So don't just play short. I don't think you need 3 Liverpool players. If you can get it, go ahead, but you don't need 3 Liverpool players. Have a defender and attacker. Always keep your Arsenal players because they are at the top of the league. They are an informed team and they have sure fixtures coming up. And captain a double week player. I think there's more upside in that. They have 180 minutes as opposed to Haaland 90. If you want to build around captain a double game week players, and again, if you have 10 players this week and you need to make a -8, consider the pros and cons. You don't need to have 11 players. You can have 10 and you can have 10 players this week because again, there are a lot of upside game weeks coming up, especially with Man U and Brighton, which most of us own. So don't mash up your team this week. That's my advice.
Yeah, I fully agree with that. And I like the 10. I think 10 is solid enough going into this game, you guys. 10 is enough, right? Of course, don't forget to click that save button. Crucial. The deadline is tomorrow. So those who tinkering, right? Don't
fix it one time.
Fix it now. Click save one time. One time, guys, right? For me, really, of course, captain a doubler. And I think this might be the safest game week that you could go a differential captain, take a try. But of course, if you are holding rank, you're trying to keep maintaining a high rank like Kapil and trying to hold the rank, but of course, Salah, you can't go wrong. But for us who Jason and trying to enjoy the game, have fun with the game, I got bored Darwin. Of course, you can't go wrong with Saka. Saka, to me, is the most informed going into this double. But of course, Salah is a wild card pick. He's a different, and you never know that Liverpool's team is back in some sort of way, at least with their spine is back. It gives me a little confidence in Salah, a little bit of confidence. All right. So of course, guys, we just want to wrap it up there. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. We had a nice amount of people watching tonight. Decent amount of likes already. So of course, please continue to share around the video first. Don't forget, we also cover for the newbies. We cover F1 and Formula One starts on the 5th of March. The app goes live in 3 days. So as soon as it goes live, we will post the league code. So jump in. If you don't follow F1, we'll do our best to bring you up to speed, no pun intended. And we will fill you in on all the best assets. And of course, we are covering every race. We do live watch-alongs at our local pub in Trinidad. And we will be keeping you all abreast of everything. So stay tuned. And of course, cricket coming up as well. Still have a little time, but we cover all that as well. So stay tuned, like, share, and subscribe to the video. I want to thank Kapil and Paul and my guys in the comment section coming through, Travis, Javid, and Bradley. And as always, happy picking. May your captain score a hat-trick, keep a clean sheet. And all the best for this one coming up, guys. We'll see you all in the next one. Take care.